So maybe if that kicks in over the weekend, then maybe some pressure. But this year has been like a dream for me. A little more than a year ago, my life was very, very different. And who knows, maybe that morning I will feel pressure, but for right now I'm good.
Mr. Fletcher, what was your biggest challenge in adapting this immensely difficult, emotional, challenging book?
Well, this book is told from the perspective of a semi-literate character, and it has some moments that are quite difficult, unflinching, I'd call it. And my goal throughout was to try to honor the spirit and the impact of the book as a cinematic and accessible experience. And I fell in love with this main character from page 1 or 2, and I think that was a big help. But it was also one of the difficulties, because I loved her so much, and we had to put her through so much. So people ask about the difficulties. Sure, I think all writing is difficult, particularly a book like this, which I found out after writing was considered unadaptable. But some of the difficulty was years before, when I wrote so many pages of original material and tried to get in the industry so long. And at the very end, to say goodbye to this character I loved so much. But again, it was the most challenging and fulfilling creative experience I've ever had.
Thanks, sir.
Gentleman here in the front.
Hi, congratulations. The film is so visual. What sort of visual guidelines did you have in the script for Lee, and what came later?
Yeah, well, this film really activated everything that I'd ever learned or studied or cared about. And one of those areas was my love of old French, Japanese, and Italian films. And where you have these wonderful stories of these individuals traversing rugged terrain, emotional and otherwise. And my training for film school, to NYU for graduate film, I'm trained as a director. So when I looked at every page of this book, I had a filter on for what can be dramatized visually and what cannot, what's cinematic and what is not. And so I guess that accounts for a lot of it.
Last question in the back.
Do I have any predictions? Well, I'm a little superstitious, but if you look to my right, that's all I'm going to say. And what do I predict? I predict it'll be a great night for everybody who goes, and I just hope my mother has a good time. I'd be shocked. I'd be more surprised than anyone if my name were called. But again, I think it's going to be a great night for everybody, and I'm just so honored that our film was recognized with so many nominations.
Just a quick question. What do you think of her pretty much running the table on the awards this year? And how closely did she embody what you had in mind for
Oh my God. Well, Monique deserves every honor she gets and a few others. So, and in terms of what she brought, when you write these things, you envision the ultimate scenario. And she exceeded that scenario in a way I've never seen anything quite like that in a film before. And I'm honored to be associated with her performance in this film. And I remember the very first time I met her, it was I think in a hotel lobby in an afternoon with Lee Daniels. And I remember I never met someone so insightful, so alert, so human, so fierce, so warm. And you see it, and you see some of her gears, but she's got so much more, if you can believe it or not. So I'm honored to even know her. So.
Thank you. That's supporting Monique.